What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Thursday afternoon so far. NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I just have a little bit of news surrounding the Brooklyn Nets and their coaching staff going into this offseason. And it looks like the Brooklyn Nets, whom they just added Jay Hernandez as their player development coach to their coaching staff just a day or two ago, looks like the Brooklyn Nets are going to have to continue to add more to their coaching staff going forward because according to ESPN.com's Tim McMahon, Ime Udoka, the head coach now of the Houston Rockets, have officially signed or have brought over former Brooklyn Nets assistant coach Royal Ivey to be one of the lead assistants on his coaching staff going into the 2023-2024 season, as Ivey now officially has left the Nets, and he is now going to be one of the lead coaches on Ime Udoka's coaching staff going into 2023 for the Houston Rockets. Ivey, obviously, he's 41 years old. He does have ties to the Texas area where he played in the University of Texas from 2000 to 2004. And he was a defensive-minded guard. We all remember what he did in the NBA in that 11-year career he had from 2004 all the way to 2015. And he transitioned into coaching back in 2014, where he worked as an assistant with the Nets, with the Knicks, and with the Oklahoma City Thunder overall. And other coaches that have been linked overall to Ime Udoka's coaching staff have been John Lucas and Mohamed Al-Davatah. Last season's crop of Houston assistant coaches Stephen Silas and Ben Sullivan and Aaron Miles from Boston University have also been linked to Udoka. Because of the Celtics are still playing in the 2023 playoffs, any of these potential hire from the staff is likely to wait until the season concludes. So obviously Ime Udoka is still waiting for the season to conclude before he can add some more people to his coaching staff. But either way, Royal Ivey has been plucked off the Brooklyn Nets staff, and now they're going to have to replace another coach on this staff after you have Ivey that departed, and obviously the Brooklyn Nets let go of a bunch of the rest of their coaching staff due to Jacque Vaughn trying to create a little bit more, trying to bring in his own guys on his coaching staff going forward. So right now the Brooklyn Nets, they have Jay Hernandez and Jacque Vaughn, but they're going to be looking to see if they can replace some of these other guys that they've let go in the offseason. And now Ivey is the latest Brooklyn Nets assistant coach to depart the organization in this offseason. So we're going to have to wait and see what the Nets are going to do. Obviously, Udoka and Ivey have ties before, and obviously he's from the Texas area, so it makes sense that Udoka is very high on somebody like Royal Ivey as a potential assistant coach. And either way, it's going to hurt the Nets not having Ivey on the coaching staff either more. But I'm sure the Nets are going to be able to go out there and find a pretty decent replacement for Ivey going into the offseason. So just wanted to break that news real quickly. The Brooklyn Nets have officially lost Royal Ivey during the offseason to the Houston Rockets, as head coach of the Rockets, new head coach of the Rockets, Ime Udoka, has officially hired Royal Ivey as one of the head coaches, or one of the lead assistant coaches on that team. And now just one other thing I want to hear. There's a report going out from Joseph Zucker that apparently Ben Simmons has seen with complete change in focus, and he's engaged with injury rehab. Obviously, we know what happened with Ben Simmons this past season. Ben Simmons pretty much only played 42 games this past year, where he averaged about 6 points, 6 rebounds, and about 4 assists in the season. And according to Brian Lewis of the New York Post, a source familiar with Simmons' situation said the group around Ben has noticed a complete change in Ben's focus and mentality, and the rehab, how he has attacked and engaged with everything. And the 3-time NBA All-Stars agent, Bernie Lee, added that Ben has been cleared to progress to the next stage of his rehab and is progressing really well, and remain very excited about his ability to return to form next year. While Nets head coach Jacque Vaughn confirmed on March 28th that Simmons would miss the remainder of the 2023-2024 season, the Nets had said 4 days earlier that he was out indefinitely because of nerve impingement in his back. The injury was fitting end to the season for Simmons' career, continued to go backwards. Obviously, like I mentioned, 7 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists on the season overall. Simmons was a former 3-time All-Star, and remember, he still has 2 years and $78.2 million left on that original deal he signed with the Philadelphia 76ers back in 2020-2021. And the Nets are still on the hook for those 2 years. While I understand Simmons is, trying to get himself better in terms of his overall shape, he's putting more of an effort in his rehabilitation. This is one of those situations where you got to see it to believe it. You got to see Ben Simmons actually going out there and showing the type of change on the court and proving it to the organization rather than it being said right now off the court. Because you could say that all you want, but until you see the production change, until you see the results change, all it is talk. All it is just words. All it is just, a whole bunch of nothing. So Simmons has got to go on the court next year if he's still with the Nets, and I still would not be shocked if the Nets are going to be looking to see if they can rid themselves of Ben Simmons this offseason. He's got to go out there if he's still a Brooklyn Net and prove that he can be a guy that can change the aspect of this team going forward. Because right now as a Nets fan, I find it very difficult to believe that Simmons is going to be able to change what has right now been a very, very, very rocky relationship between Brooklyn and Simmons overall in Brooklyn. So Simmons is going to have to do something to change things up, but we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. Either way, just want to break that news for you guys real quickly. The Brooklyn Nets have lost assistant head coach Royal Ivey, who was signed with the Houston Rockets, as well as Brooklyn Nets small forward Ben Simmons is reportedly changing up his rehab going into the offseason, is putting together more of a focus to try to get himself healthy going into the 2023-2024 NBA season. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Give a sub to NYGJeffyT85. More news updates and chatter surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. Turn on the bell for notifications. The next video is short dropping on the channel surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. Let me know in the comments section what you think about the Ben Simmons news, about him changing up and putting more focus on his rehabilitation and changing up his regimen to try to see if he can come back healthy after 2 down years with Brooklyn. And if you enjoy the video, make sure to hit a super thanks at the bottom. Shows your appreciation and love for the channel. Thank you guys always for the support. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Thursday. Take it easy and let's go Brooklyn Nets. As always, it's a Nets world and we're all just living in it.